Grab your wine. It's time for Rosé All Day and Julie's a Mess, where we talk about current events and living in an intersex life. And now, here's Julie.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 3 of Rosé All Day, Julie's a Mess, Optimistic in Orlando. I have to thank everybody for reading this new series in the run. For those of you that are listening on the outside and you aren't watching any of the videos, come join us. You can comment. You can tell us what you liked about each episode. Rebecca and I would love to hear it. And we just love the support. Thinking about starting a Patreon account just for Optimistic in Orlando. We're definitely fleshing out some new ideas as each week comes along. I know I'm not as glamorous as I normally tend to be on Sunday nights. However, it is early. It's not super early, but I'm 48. So noon is early to me. We are pre-recording this episode this week. We will pre-record some in the future as well as Rebecca and I's schedule change. I'm actually going to Halloween Horror Nights tonight to celebrate a friend's birthday. So we're doing it today and it will be showing later on tonight. Let's talk about my drink real fast because it's Sunday and a lot of people go to brunches on Sundays. This is Barefoot Wine's Rosé mixed with a little bit of orange juice and guava juice. I thought I'm having a alcoholic cocktail this morning and it is very brunch worthy. That's what I'm drinking. Rebecca, what are you drinking?
So I have essentially the gutter swipe drink of a morning. I do enjoy it very much. It is leftover from a party, but I am a huge fan. So this is a Corona seltzer thing. It's the watermelon flavor, which is random for me, but it was a Left Behind, and I have gotten into them, so I might actually buy some.
I love that. Watermelon's such a refreshing burst of flavor early in the morning.
It feels very crunchy. It feels like a.
And I always like Corona. It's really funny. I dated a guy and he always drinks Bud, right? That's all he ever drinks. Bud, which is fine. If you like that flavor, fine. But we went out to a nice restaurant, and they didn't have any Bud. And he was like, I don't know what to drink. And he'd never had a craft beer. And I thought, I feel like on some level, you're not living your life if you don't try other beers, if you're very focused. And that would be like if you met somebody and they only drank Pabst Blue Ribbon. So I knew by getting him a Stella Artois, which happens to be my favorite beer.
I love a Stella.
He would be floored. And he tried it and he was like, oh my God, that's really good. And I thought, okay, we're cooking with fire. And then he was like, but it's not Bud. I was like, okay.
Well, I got back onto Corona because I couldn't really drink too much beer because I have a gluten thing. And then I was dating a girl who had a Corona Light, and I was feeling, I don't know, maybe I wanted to impress her, and I had a Corona Light, and I loved it. And that is what I usually order now at bars. That's my go-to.
So just for reference, it is 12:14 right now. We started about 3-4 minutes ago. So we're trying to keep this one. So we found out with this app or with this platform, if you're pre-recording, in order to upload it for a later show, you have to stay kind of right at that below hour break. So we're just trying to figure out our time. That has nothing to do with our show. Anyway, let's get into it. So we are talking each week now about a subject that we find very important for online dating and for the aspects of being online and trying to use online dating for your benefit. And so this week, we're going to talk a little bit about photos. So we're going to talk about a topic each week. After that topic, we're going to break into gutter swipes because everybody seems to really like the gutter swipes. And then we are going to go right into our matches for the week. And we're going to kind of pony in or partner in other things that have been happening as well, because it's not always just online dating when you're trying to find a potential match. Let's talk about photos real fast. Rebecca's like, yes. Okay, so I'm just going to start us off by saying it irritates the absolute fuck out of me, gentlemen, and probably for gentlemen too, looking at women's profiles when your first 3 or 4 pictures are group photos. Rebecca,
how do we know which one you are?
That's fair. How do we figure it out?
And we have an exception to the rule, but it's almost never the most attractive person.
Yeah.
We all know this. Let's be clear. It's the guy between the two.
And that's no hate. That's no hate. We're not trying to shame anybody in this way.
It's just strategy.
The strategy is always, it tends to be the least attractive in the group. And so Rebecca had said, when we were talking about it going into this week's show, she'd said, it's almost like they're using backup dancers. Like, are those all like staged backup dancers? And then you look at them and you're like, are the backup dancers supposed to be attractive or worse looking to make that person look the best?
Right. You could go either way. You could have people hype you up because they're not or they carry you along into the next photos.
But the other caveat to realize is there are profiles where they're all attractive. And then you figure out who the person is and you think, God, they're attractive. And then my brain flips into, but they're with people in every single photo, which means their social life is probably pretty active. And it also means, like, if you're going into that, your A game's got to be 100% every time. Whether you're going out for biscuits and gravies on a Saturday morning and you're meeting friends for diner food, or whether you're going out to like the swankiest club, you as the person that's swiping on them, if you're inserting yourself into their lifestyle, you're going to have to be on your A game all the time. Like, if
Alternatively, what I find is a lot of the time they're all just drinking Bud on every photo. Mm-hmm. And you're going to be the backyard bitch that's like sitting there with them, hanging out, not even capable of joining the conversation because you can't bear it. And that's what you do every weekend. And
we were saying,
me and the boys are going to do such and such. You can come along.
And my aesthetic is so like pageant, not this morning, because it's Sunday morning at 12. Normally my aesthetic is so like glam and over the top. And that's why a lot of men will swipe on me. And I told Rebecca, I was like, this guy we were talking about this morning, I'm like, I would end up having to look like sexy MILF every time we went out because he's so young. And she literally said, you'll be the group mom. And I was like, and I don't want to bring orange slices and Capri Suns on every date.
It's too real, though. You're going to be throwing away their trash at the end and pouring out the campfire.
I'll be like, John, I know I'm not dating you, but put the fucking seat down. That's what it's going to be like.
The other main photo issue that we have that we've discussed is the giveaway photo, which, I mean, is actually very helpful if you're in on it. But I think a lot of the time people think, oh, he just doesn't look that good in that photo, but I want him to be the first photo. But can you imagine a world in which the world was filled with people who look like their first photo, their best photo? I mean, we'd be meeting people all the time. It would be like Candyland.
But that's the thing too we talked about, is that the hive, we've been talking about the hive for a while. even though that's not the only dating app I use, it's where we get a lot of these matches from, because I do have better success on the Hive. The Hive has software that picks your best photo and always shows your best photo. So that's where the giveaway photo works for us, because we know the giveaway photo is the last photo. However, what if all of your photos were fantastic photos? And it is achievable, but also with things like AI and filters, which I use. I really don't think there's not a filter out there. When people, even men, find out that they're filters, I think we're all guilty of using lighting and other filters to kind of shift lines or fine lines or stuff like that. So with all of that being done now, right, you would potentially have every photo look amazing. It breaks the software and you show up for a date and they look like that thing from The Ring.
Well,
you know what I'm talking about. From Lord of the Rings. Schmeagol? Schmeagol. Like, Master, thanks for meeting me in public.
Yeah, or you get on like the first selfie.
Ring, Julie.
But I think most people can take about 2 to 3 good photos, and they should stop there unless they do want to give themselves away, which we all appreciate. I had fought the system a couple years ago because I'm like, I want my giveaway photo to lead, so that if the person is interested in my giveaway photo, they're going to really like me, because it had my personality in it. My skin was not at its best, but I was like on a hike. My hair was pulled back. An ex-boyfriend had taken it. And I'm like, you know what? This captures my personality, but it's not glam. And that kind of at least made me more comfortable when I had a match, that I didn't have to like impress them. But I had to keep fighting the system to not override it, because they were like, honey, this is your giveaway photo. Trust us on this one.
I literally, before we go into the rest of the show, because that's all we're really going to talk about, photos and just how you kind of put your best, because you want your personality to be shown, by all means, because you're giving them a snapshot into what they would be dating. So I think that's where we're going to close the photo conversation. But I've been binge watching the morning show all week. Whenever I need like stuff going on in the background, I made my roommate's dinner last night. We had stuffed tomatoes, and then I made a carrot cake because I wanted to see how the oven cooked. So men, if you date me, I will definitely keep you fed. However, watching the morning show, and it dawned on me there are 2 relationships on the morning show that Rebecca and I could fall into for each other. It would either be the Alex Levy, Bradley Jackson relationship. And I think in that relationship, it's really funny because in each of these relationships, I feel like Rebecca has the smarts and the know-how of Alex Levy, but I see her more as the Bradley Jackson, which is the Reese Witherspoon character. And then in this relationship, and then I would look more like Alex Levy, but have more of Bradley Jackson's tendencies. However, did you see that? However, also the Laura Peterson, Bradley Jackson relationship.
I haven't followed it enough.
Have you, what season are you on?
I think I tapped out after 1 because I wanted to, but I wasn't read. It wasn't out yet.
So Laura, in the 2nd season, Laura Peterson interviews Alex Levy for that book that's coming out, which is a big, I'm trying not to give spoilers. And Laura Peterson is played by, I can't think of her name right now, Juliana Margulies, who used to be on ER, who we haven't seen in forever, right? And now she's come back and she's like much older. And she and Bradley Jackson get involved in a relationship. and then they're keeping it off the air because Laura Peterson is out, but Bradley's like, I don't need my personal life being shown on national television. It's very interesting. So I could see that too, even though I'm not saying that Rebecca and I have slept together. We haven't.
The things you guys don't know.
I know the things you don't, but you know, I'm not saying, no, we're not getting into that. Could you imagine episode 3, Optimistic in Orlando, Juleigh and Rebecca have at it.
This is where our fan base suddenly goes.
I know, literally, people are like, start an OnlyFans. Okay, so we are going into gutter swipes. Where is my? Here we are. Look, gutter swipes, gas station chocolate. Woo! Remember, if you're watching us on our YouTube channel, you can obviously make comments when this airs. We would love to hear your comments. Tell us, have you had gas station chocolate? We explained what that was last week. Are you also now going through your online dating and picking gutter swipes for yourself, which in a way is kind of healthy because it helps you realize what you're willing to take and what you're not willing to take, and it's kind of fun, right? And you don't have to tell the individuals you pick that they are your gutter swipe. And let's be clear, sometimes your gutter swipes prove you wrong.
Okay, for at least a week, which I'm really interested to see how this goes, Julie, because Julie is optimistic over there in Orlando. Her gutter swipe lasted for a full 7 days. Without giving himself away yet. So you need to tell me which one, and I'm going to look at it and give us our first impression.
Okay. So if y'all remember, so first off, a lot of the gutter swipes that she's given me this week, I have engaged with, and they have bounced right out of the hive. So they have not, if this were a tennis match, they have not set the ball back, right? I send it over the net. They have not volleyed it back if we're playing volleyball. Don't ask me for sports references. I'm going to throw them all in together. You'll be like, is she talking about water polo or basketball? Nobody knows. So literally, I sent the ball over the net. It has not been sent back. A lot of those gutter swipes have already fallen out of the hive. Okay, so one, though, that we talked about in detail last week, we said he had a really great name. However, he had a random Walmart back of the door mirror shoved into his backyard, and he was taking pictures in front of it in his boxer shorts. We talked about it. If you remember last week's episode, we talked about it. If you don't remember, go back because we had a lengthy conversation about
Cigarello. Okay,
yeah,
he's the one.
Cigarello, yeah.
Oh, and he's the one that took the fall on the skateboard.
Yeah, which if you look at it, if you look at that picture a little more closely,
oh, here we go.
I think it's a staged fall, right? I think it's a dance move. I think he was at the skate park when he did it, but it looks more like a stylized.
The optimism has arrived, folks. The attachment is setting in. You know, that is such a phase when you get to the defensive phase. And like, he's not that ugly as he looks on this photo. Or you're like, you know, so actually
I'm just saying. If you look, I'm just saying.
A beer tasting thing.
I guess I did think at some point, I was like, maybe we're a little too harsh on this gutter swipe. Maybe he'll still prove us wrong. I'm going to read some of the, I'll read you some. Okay. So we're going to read without giving him away.
Oh, and he's the one that wants to eat ass for the rest of his life, folks. Just, I don't want to leave that out, which is, I mean, that's not a problem.
Yeah, I mean, I like that.
It's just a bold lead. Okay.
It's a really bold lead. It's telling people that you want to toss salad for the rest of your life. Right? Okay. So the first question I asked him, which we talked about last week, is I said, what did you usually get in trouble for as a kid? I said running my mouth. Now, if you remember, this was in the conversation last week. He said jumping off stuff. I was almost arrested when I was 10 for bridge jumping. We talked about this because we said, well, I don't remember if we said that was a red flag, but we definitely talked about it. Sorry, my hair this morning is driving me
No,
nuts.
it's okay. But whenever you do that, I'm like,
So the next question was, when do you feel at your sexiest? I said, when all eyes are on me. And he said, after a hard day at the gym. Now, Rebecca would say, he's showing you that gutter kind of mentality. He's already talking about himself. He's talking about his body. Like,
yeah, but okay, to my defense, because I'm in love with me, he is he's answering a question that is about him, and it makes him sound basic. It doesn't say he's not a gutter swipe, but he's not out yet of my camp. Okay.
So I said, I'd look at you at the gym, laugh out loud. And he said, you would have my eyes on you. Let's be serious. And I said, oh, yeah, I'd just be using low impact stuff. Because Rebecca already knows I got my Planet Fitness. Maybe they'll sponsor. I got my Planet Fitness membership to go use the massage chair and the tanning booth. I don't really go in there to get sweaty. Because I got
my Crunch membership to use their spin classes, and I haven't done them once. But
so then I sent him these two pictures because you know me, I'm I sent him my two sexy, glamorous pictures from this week that show my cleavage, and I said I'm not in great shape. I have curves. I'm not saying that people with curves aren't in great shape, but you know, I self-deprecate a lot. I often tell guys they look pretty in pictures, but it's because I stop right below my chest and crop up. And in all honesty, and I have great legs, but between my legs and my boobs, to quote somebody that came into contact with Rebecca last week, I'm a little gelatinous.
That was not about you, though.
I know. Now, so normally when people say, well, Julie, what's your body look like? I'm like a malnourished manatee. I mean, because of all the I just look odd in some places. And women have problems with their bodies. That's not me body shaming myself. It's me just being. However, I was saying to him, I don't have the greatest body. And then he said, but I love your teeth. Okay.
I kind of like that.
So he said, you would definitely catch me.
Oh no, you froze.
I can't show. I mean, it's not.
Julie, you have to repeat that because you just froze like right at the climax of his comment.
We got married. No, I'm kidding. We went to Vegas and got married. I'm just kidding. He sent me a picture of his post-gym workout.
After the teeth, directly after the teeth.
He said, I love your teeth. You would definitely catch me looking at you.
I like that.
And then he sent me a post-gym workout. And then he said, this was the pump for today. So he's flexing his bicep. And I said, good job, babe. Have to preface. I call everybody babe. If you are close to me and we start dating, I normally will give you a nickname, which is why we give nicknames on this show, because I just call everybody babe. That's my thing. When I dated my ex in Savannah, I called him Monkey because he reminded me of a lanky monkey in all his aspects. So he didn't love it. He'd be like, quit calling me Monkey, especially in public. And I'd be like, Monkey. At the grocery store, I'd be like, Monkey. And he hated that. But I call everybody babe. Just did it to my roommate this week. We were in Target. And I was like, babe. And finally I was like, are you okay with that? Because you're my best gay friend roommate. And I'm basically telling him, which is not my intention, but I just call everybody babe. So I said, good job, babe. My teeth, they should for $36,000. And he said, thank you. He said, laughing my ass out. Oh my God, damn, that's expensive. talking of expensive body parts, I have a $55,000 back. Back. And I said, you're like the $55,000 man.
I need so much explanation.
So the conversation goes on. And I said, what happened? And he said, I herniated a disc in my back while playing college rugby.
Not while
falling off. Had to have surgery and then came back and played another full season. So he damaged it even further after having that surgery.
That sounds like that fits.
And so I said, damn, but rugby is sexy, so I'll allow it. He said, wish you were waiting for me after my games. And I said, yeah, I could give you a massage for boo-boos and put you in a hot tub. And he said, that's exactly what I need after a game. I feel beat to shit. And I said, yeah, you need some TLC and tenderness for sure. Which, here's the trade-off. I said, you need some TLC and tenderness for sure.
He wants a blowjob.
It's showing as delivered. That was a day ago, and I haven't heard back from him. So
I'm concerned that the reply is either going to be what his definition of tenderness is, and TLC especially, or
I feel like that's where we could be wrong. If he's a true gutter swipe, which he could be because he hasn't responded in a day, and it has been entertaining for a week, which is what you said it would be. If it is a true gutter swipe, if it is true gas station chocolate, his response will be, I definitely need a blowjob, or I definitely need sex, or I definitely, and then your case is proven.
Or a euphemism for it. Yeah. So his way out of being a gutter swipe gas station chocolate is if he says anything other than ghosting or something that implies sexual TLC or you servicing him. So, edge of our seats.
Edge of our seats on that one. And maybe we should give him, let's call him Cigarello Man, because we've referred to him that way in the past. So that's what we'll call him now for the purpose of, we normally do not give gutter swipes, to be fair, a nickname because they are not a potential match. However,
worth it.
We've talked about him. So
like an animal that you don't want to adopt that just walked into your house, do not name it. Don't get attached.
Don't defend its skateboarding pictures. So, and that's really the gutter that we had from 2 weeks ago, but it's kind of morphed. And normally we are going to talk about 2 gutter swipes a week, but we don't have any gutters that have messaged back necessarily. Just to clarify, though, Rebecca wanted to touch on Cirque du Soleil guy. He was the gutter swipe that was appearing in all of the water and pool pictures. He didn't respond back. He swiped out of the hive. So that proves her point of being a gutter swipe. Now let's talk about, Rebecca wants me to talk about it. I've kind of been on the fence. I don't necessarily want to sway individuals that have come into my life outside of the hive.
Oh, yes.
Because I don't necessarily want to ruin.
I don't think you should share with us information that is negative about somebody that you really like, per se. But we can kind of toss things around.
She wants me to talk for sure about a week, probably a week ago. It wasn't.
Oh, yeah, it was last week's highlight of the. Are we talking about Trucker?
No. Oh. Well, so Truckers. We'll talk about Trucker real fast. Trucker was the guy that had come into my life to purchase my truck, so we gave him the name Trucker Guy, and he was very intent on taking me out for pizza this last week. And the day came and went. We didn't go out for pizza. I messaged him on Friday and said, yo, girl went to bed hungry last night. I didn't go, but I was like, weren't we on for pizza? And he said, oh, I forgot. and I am
Oh,
going
no,
to,
I'm sorry.
and he said, I'm sorry, I forgot. He goes, I'm leaving this weekend to go out of town with friends, with guy friends, to go see a game. And he's like, I'm so sorry, I forgot. And I said, we just talked about it on Thursday. Like, I asked if we were on for Friday. So then he said, wait till I forget Christmas. And I said, oh, well, I'd probably kill you if you forgot Christmas. I said, I can't imagine. I said, my mom's birthday got forgotten a couple of years ago, and she dragged my dad across the coals for like every major holiday and birthday for like 4 years. Right. And so I was like, I probably wouldn't, but Christmas is a big deal. And he was like, he goes, well, you don't need to kill me. I've tried it before. And I went, killing other people? And he said, himself. And I thought, oh, that's a huge red flag for me. And all I said was, no, 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 no. And then I said something like, have fun this weekend. We'll try and work on your memory. That's where it falls back into my lap. And I have to figure out, is that even something I even want to embrace at this moment? And I don't. He seems like a really nice guy. I'm not saying I couldn't be great friends with him, but there are a lot of red flags, and we can talk about that maybe next week when we talk about red flags.
Okay.
Now, what I was going to talk about is the trainer from Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
This is like, Rebecca heard this story and she was like, oh, so you didn't even have gas station chocolate. She's like, you had like premium chocolate brought to you on a plate at a high-end restaurant with like swirlies over the top and some gold flakes and champagne. And I was like, yeah, it was some damn good chocolate. That was some damn good chocolate. And when we talk about it, we're not saying chocolate as in like an African-American man, which that's some good chocolate too. More referencing.
Someone referred to himself as a chocolate man with a candy bar, and I was like, and you look like very high quality chocolate as well.
Yeah. So we're saying instead of gas station chocolate, if you need a quick recap, because then we're going to go right into our matches because we're at about the 32 mark. Gas station chocolate is everybody needs chocolate. Every woman needs chocolate. Every man likes to have chocolate every once in a while. You need that sweet kind of vibrant punch in your day or in your lifetime. But gas station chocolate is kind of that bottom of the barrel.
Old Hershey's. It's been sitting on there for a long time. It's old Hershey's chocolate, just plain old stale Hershey's chocolate.
Like, you're going to get something out of it, but it's not going to be it's like baker's chocolate, right? There's no flavor or taste to it. And then when you get chocolate, like Easter candy, Christmas chocolate on the other end, it's premium. Do you know what I mean? And so I met a guy on a different app altogether that we have not actually brought into this Optimistic in Orlando thing. He was traveling. Now, normally I don't date or go out with travelers because the whole purpose of dating is to be able to have access to that person 24/7. Not that you would. I'm not stalking the person, but I can't date you if you don't live in my town. And if you don't live in my city, and if you don't live, it makes it really hard to date. I know there are people out there that do long distance dating. I don't have enough trust in my repertoire to do that. I'd be sitting at home like, who's he out with? Where is he going? Like, it would drive me nuts. I need to be able to have access to you. That's what dating for me is, right? And so normally I won't go out or entertain somebody that's not local. He was not local. But when I tell you, he had the body of a Greek god. He had the body of a Greek god. And I was like, damn, he was a little bit older. Well, he's actually my age. And I just thought, he's in his late 40s and he has a body that's smoking hot. Like, I got to meet this guy just so I can spit on him and hope that some of it flies back into my face. Like, I know that's a random like thought process, but I was like, if I can be in his splash zone at SeaWorld, that's enough for me. So, not to mention, and Rebecca loves this, not to mention that he was throwing out the compliments towards me in my pictures, even after I showed him pictures of me not looking so great, even after I showed him a picture not in my wig. I think I was washing my car in one picture. Like, I didn't look great. And he was like, "You're stunning." And then he read my story because I sent that out. I was like, "Hey, you need to know something."
This is clutch.
I sent him my story, and he still was like, "Holy fuck, I need to meet you." So we met just for adult fun time. And let me tell you, imagine being taken to your favorite theme park for one night, completely naked, with the man of your dreams, and y'all did everything in that theme park adult fun time wise, right? So we're talking laser tag naked, putt-putt golf naked, bumper cars naked, water slides naked, dark rides naked, new rides naked, right? Not to name out any theme park, log flumes naked. You did everything in that park naked for adult fun time with each other. Like, and not to mention the afterglow. I couldn't get enough of this man. I crawled right back up on top of him and he was like, "I'm here for this." He was like, "Let's not do anything else. I'm exhausted." And then I was like, he's getting dressed to leave. And I was like, "So where do you live?" He told me. And then I said, "I've never been." He was like, "Well, it's nice." And I said, "Do you come back to Orlando often?" And he said, "I get back here a fair amount during the year." And I said, "Can we exchange numbers? Can we stay in touch?" And he said, "Absolutely." Y'all, that chocolate was so good. I want to buy a vending machine and stock the vending machine with this premium trainer chocolate.
I just, when you described to me the way he spoke to you after and how the whole experience went, it felt like he treated you like a goddess. And it was just a very positive experience, which is
100%. 100%.
part of the 360 positive, romantic, sexual dating life that we want you to have. It doesn't necessarily always involve partners, but if you're going to have adult fun time, it needs to be high quality, and the person needs to treat you like the amazing person that you are, that they're fucking lucky. And that's so rare. So anyway,
we're going to be going into our matches. We wanted to talk about that real fast. And then somebody that we haven't mentioned a lot on here that I am definitely interested in. We did give him a nickname way before we even started the podcast because Rebecca knew that he was in my life, is Kermit the Frog. We're calling him Kermit the Frog. If I told you why his nickname is Kermit the Frog, it would be a dead giveaway to who he is for people that know in my life. So we're not going to give you the background on him. But it is somebody that I met about 3 years ago, and we've just been in conversation for 3 years. Never really in a position to date, but now I am living back in the state that he resides in. And he's just, okay, he is, we call him Kermit the Frog. I might want to change his name to Timmy the Turtle. He's just very slow, right? He's just very like, he's interested. He has told me more than once that he is interested. The getting him to move is like, I don't know how to get him to move any faster. I don't. And some people just need time. But I even told him recently in front of Rebecca in a voice message that other people are going to be creeping on me, and not even creeping, but other people are going to be in my inbox and wanting to spend time with me. And if he really wants to put a viable chance in, He's got to step into the race sooner than later. And he acknowledged that he moves slow, that Kermit moves slow. And so this last week, he's been reaching out and leaving me a message here or a message there. He's still moving slow. So I don't know how that's
No plans to meet up yet.
Look, the two we've had to meet before always falter. Something's happened, end up meeting. I don't know if that's fate. I don't know if it's just his inability to communicate and move forward. I don't know, but I told you.
And I'll leave this here, but I think that he is nervous about the dynamic that you guys have, which you both enjoy, changing once you meet, which I explained to you once before. I had that with somebody that I was like, oh God, I don't want this to change, but we have to meet up. And I think he's on that edge. He has no idea how it's going to go. We never know. So anyway.
Well, until then, I still have trainer chocolate. So,
exactly. Let's do some matches. Can I give you some matches?
Yes, let's do matches. Okay. So Rebecca's peaks. Rebecca's peaks. It is because she does peak. Rebecca's picks. Look, she even got her own little banner at the bottom. She hasn't even looked up yet to see it.
Oh.
So that'll flash every week during the show. Also, while she's picking or while she's getting ready to send them over on the phone, we do have merchandise available for justjuleigh.com. So you definitely want to check that out. We have a Patreon account up, so you definitely want to check that out. It takes money to run this each week, and we want to do it for you. So definitely comment below how you would like to get things from us. If you would like more merchandise, if you would like more events to where you can meet us, just feel it out and let us know. Let's go.
Okay. The first person is 52. His job is president, CEO. He says, let's have fun, no pressure, and see where it goes. I have a tremendous zest for life, love, new adventures, travel, and dining out. Seeking a match with mutual chemistry and attraction. If you are kind, genuine, and have a loving heart and soul, swipe right. He's 5'11", active Aquarius, grad school, socially drinks, never smokes. He does have kids and doesn't want more. He's a Christian conservative, which we've talked about before. That can go either way for you in terms of how they respond, but it's always a good experience to try. Design, photography, dancing, running, skiing. And his favorite quality in a person is fun and down to earth. We'll get along if you love to smile. I'm not going to tell you how attractive this man is or not. But his first photo, he's got the ocean behind him. He looks like he has a surfboard, like he surfs. And his second photo, he looks like he's in a scuba diving costume. And that is all we got.
You know, the more I do this each week, I'm starting to think that pictures like that are telling you that he should be on a commercial for like erectile dysfunction. Like he's trying to prove to everybody that he's like James Bond. I don't know. The description alone makes me worry.
Well, it's interesting because you are so willing to take so many chances talking to gutter swipes. And my guys, you're like, I don't know. And I'm like, Julie, you do realize that it's not like a show where you get married next week.
It's not. It's just Optimistic in Orlando is not 90 Day Fiance.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to decide that you turn this guy down. And you're going to learn a lesson because I'm going to send you his photos right now.
Okay.
Now, to be fair, he may be like way too like active for you in that sense. Like, I like to do all the activities in the world and I'm so busy.
I mean, because you know me, I do have lupus and osteoporosis and I'm not a Debbie Downer. I'm willing to go to a theme park, but like, he may look
you're going to sit on the ride.
She's dead weight.
Okay. So take a look at this guy. I'm going to queue up the next.
Oh, I'm not attracted to him.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll take him. All right. So the next guy is 37. He says, backpacking around the world for the last 7 years in search of the meaning/purpose of life, exploring new cultures, places, and experiences. I'm a boudoir photographer. If you like this kind of art, have interest to do, or know more about it, feel free to ask me. Feels a little jacket Manny, but
Jacket Manny, and I love photography and I love boudoir shots. My relationship, my brain that's steeped in looking for a relationship is thinking, if you're taking pictures of other women in bedroom situations, you're probably a little bit of a player.
It's true. You know, I just got to tell you, he's on the indulgence list, not the true match list. But are you okay? Let me describe the pictures and then you can tell me. I should tell you what the nature of these people are, because I have a couple real surprise ones that are part of their high quality chocolate. So he has a little multi-poo thing and a hiking thing that looks like in LA. Then in another photo, he is taking a picture of someone and there are legs on the bed. To be honest, the more I look at this, I might have gotten pulled into my own gutter swipe. Then in another one, he's on a mountain top. Then he's in Thailand, and then he's by some big mural. May I show you photos? I feel like you've already turned them down.
No, somebody just said on Venmo they like my payment, and I thought, I haven't paid anybody on Venmo. So now my brain's in like, oh my God, has my Venmo account been hacked?
Okay.
But back to us. You know what? For shits and giggles, send them. Okay.
I'm gonna send you
swipe right or send the picture and let's see. Okay.
Hold on. We're going through a whole. You're gonna do a really quick stop. You love these screen recordings. I have to teach you how to do them afterwards. Okay, here we go, because he's got lots of photos. I'll cue up my next
card. Oh.
I know, right? It's hard not to get.
It went by a little fast, but you know what?
Twist my arm.
He's close. Go right. Swipe right on him.
Let's just see what happens.
Yeah.
I want to see if he can be let's call it a Chicago style. Let's see if he can meet the Chicago standard.
Let's, for reference of nicknames, let's call him Pink Tank, because he's got a pink tank top on.
Okay.
So
now, this next guy, he doesn't have enough of a bio, but he's not a gutter swipe. Okay, we'll save him for later. All right, I'm going to have to do some of these ones where you aren't going to necessarily, you just need to keep an open mind. Okay. So, this man is 40. He's a producer of film, TV, gaming. He says, ready for Halloween stuff every single moment. Let's go. Trying my damnedest to stay grounded while keeping my head in the clouds. Never married, no children, not bragging, in parentheses. Music, travel, nature, parks, immersive art, and any kind of adventure are my medicine. I'm terrible at these things. Ask me anything. And then he's 5'7". He works out sometimes. He's a Leo, drinks socially, never smokes. He's looking for a relationship. He's spiritual. We have no politics on here. My interests, festivals, electronic music, exploring new cities, being open-minded, sense of adventure, two truths and a lie. Worked with Spielberg, worked with Tom Hanks, worked with Tarantino. Okay, build yourself up a little more. And then we're scrolling down. What makes a relationship great is open, honest communication, equality, reciprocation, genuine laughter, empathy, and of course, passionate chemistry.
I'm so bad. You literally did the two truths and a lie, and I thought he could have worked with all of them. He didn't say what he was doing.
Maybe that means you're a match. If you
he could have been picking up dog poo for Tarantino. Or
That's true.
Tarantino.
We
You know
have
what I
no
mean? You don't know
idea.
in what capacity, picking out pubic hairs out of, I don't know.
It's true.
Let's swipe right on him. He seems like he's
Okay.
interesting. Maybe a little eccentric.
Yeah. And then,
Or at
okay.
least we didn't, because we're down to the 10-minute mark. So I may just say swipe.
Yeah, you need to, this is going to end up being blind for you. Okay. So this guy's 56. He's divorced, retired, and just enjoying life. Hang out, chill, drink, party, and have fun. Open to long-term, but not getting married right away. Traveling lots, but come along and see some sights. Orlando and Tampa area mostly, with a few weeks in Gainesville. Okay, it says he lives in Orlando. And he looks like in between fun times guy and like could stick around for a little while and you could enjoy his company.
Okay.
Then we
For
have
those that are watching and listening, normally she'll send me a picture and I'll say yay or nay. This is total trust, which she knows we built up in the last.
We have, and you're going to take some trust falls with me, but at least we can see what kind of quality communication comes out of this. Okay. This guy is probably too active for you, but I think he's cute, and he has a really good looking dog. He has a boat. You can ride on a boat, Anyway, he's 40, or he's on a boat, faking he has a boat. Okay, he's 40, trying to find the one, smiley face with the old fashioned way. I'm super chill and down to earth and love water sports. Ask if you want to know more. 5'10", active Gemini, drinks rarely, never smokes. He's Catholic. He's interested in photography, running, cycling, surfing, and stand-up.
What kind of water sports? I'm kidding.
He's on things that you ride.
You missed my joke, Rebecca.
Oh. I'm so innocent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do we want any of these water sports with this man?
Let's swipe right.
Okay.
Again, now I'm getting to the point too where I'm like, let's swipe right, just so we have content going into the next episode, whether they're going to stick around or not. And to preface, and we often do this with online dating anyway, many people will swipe on your photo, which we talked about at the beginning of this episode. So make sure you go back and listen to that or watch that. They'll swipe right on your photo, not reading your profile. And then once you've swiped right on them, they'll come back and be like, oh, who's this? And then go, boop, I'm not interested, and jump right back out of your hive. So sometimes it's good to just add.
Yeah.
Because we don't know. We still don't know how to look at their pictures and still be like, meh.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so this guy is 58. He's a wine sales consultant. He does not look 58, to be clear. Want to date Stanley Tucci lookalike? A little bit. No, that's what he says about himself. I think he's a little bit more attractive. And he has the little like smiley face. Love to meet a woman who is classy, sporty, and fun. I'm extremely affectionate, funny, sarcastic in a loving way. Love soccer, cycling, and long strolls. He has an Instagram if you want to message him. Only 500-year-old souls apply. Love my roots, love being Italian, and want to share. Smiley face. 5'10", active, Virgo, undergrad degree, socially drinks, never smokes. He has and doesn't want more children, but they are on a photo at the beginning. They're full grown. And then he enjoys soccer, rock, wine, beaches, being active. He knows Italian and Spanish. What's the most iconic first date you can think of? It's going to be a starter question. He says, no smokers, please. If it's meant to be if there's a connection, then let's move forward. I'm hoping you have positive energy, love great conversations, love a home-cooked meal, a few glasses of Barolo. I'm an Italian wine specialist, and lots of affection.
Yeah, swipe right on him 100%.
Okay, great.
Which is funny because you know me, I don't tend to do older at all.
I know, but I didn't either until I did.
58, but he's acting like a 34-year-old.
58-year-olds, They can be a trip. Okay, I'm going to do this one really, really fast.
Okay.
And then we're out. Okay, so we're going back to the couple thing, just so we have some content. Okay, so this is Live and Filthy? Oh, no.
Did you not think that's what their name was when you first saw them?
Wait. I fucked up on these guys. We're going to move past them.
I kind of want to swipe on them.
They're kind of attractive. I just feel like you would vibe.
Just do it.
There is no bio.
Okay, throw them in there. And
they're a potential gutter swipe.
Potential gutter swipe. Also throw them in there. Also, I'm going to say it because it came up earlier today, and I just feel like these are signs, even though we don't have a lot of time. We are going to divulge and talk about polys because at some point, because I've been in that mix before, kind of, or started to. Rebecca and I have ideas on that. I have somebody that I'm related to that was in a poly relationship, and she and her current partner, who are not poly, had both said recently, most poly individuals should not be poly. And then somebody
not certified.
Right. And then somebody this morning said they feel like in this generation and in our last generation of cropping people and social people, that poly is just a normalized label that allows people to cheat. So I think those are debates. I think that's a conversation we definitely need to have in the future.
Real poly people, which we'll have in the episode, I just got to say, real certified FDA approved organic poly people are some of the best people out there.
Yes.
A lot to your life. So if you get the golden ticket, you've got the golden ticket. Anyway.
We'll talk about that later. Okay. We have time for one more match. It's 6. Well, I would just do it. If not, we can just end it.
Okay. All right. This guy is also 58. Not a Stanley Tucci lookalike, but it's fine. He's athletic, down to earth, open, honest, and financially secure. Enjoy outdoor activities, sports, go Bruins, movies, cooking, and wine tasting. Love to travel and have a flexible schedule as I own my own business. Have 2 grown kids who live away from home, 6'3". I hope our schedules align, which I really like because he wants to actually schedule something. He's Cancer, socially drinks, just to be clear, Cancer astrology sign. He wants a relationship, has kids and doesn't want more. He is conservative, so that will, maybe be an interesting conversation. And then he has some pictures at like a sports game and one on the beach.
Let's swipe him. Add him to the hive. We'll flesh it out. We'll talk about it next week. We are getting out of here for this week. I've got to go to Halloween Horror Nights tonight, and I still have to do my glam makeup because you never know who Julie's going to pull in public in throngs of thousands of people that are screaming because they think that the scare actor behind them made them wet their pants. So we are out for tonight, and we will see you next week where we're going to be talking about red flags and more Optimistic in Orlando with Julie and Rebecca. Love you guys. See you soon.
For more content, follow justjuleigh.com. That's just Julie, JULEIGH.com. Thank you to our guests, and thank you for joining us this evening. Join us next week as Julie